guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the PBGE channel, and here we're going to talk about cheating. The reason I'm making this video is because I just saw another blog which Niantic is going to hit both legit and cheaters players. However, I know the cheaters is going to bypass it, and then Niantic is going to do it again and again and again and again and again. I will explain the cheating. I will explain why did I make this video, and I will explain the potential of what may happen in the future. One thing that I do want to cover first is that I used to be an assistant dev for private server only. I used to be a GM, a mod, an administrator. I played games for 10 years at my house, since 20 to 30, So when covering cheating, I always had to talk to someone higher than me, a dev, and relay that message to the player. I couldn't say it myself because I wasn't 100% official word. However, when you're asking what is cheating in any game, any type of game, one, ask the devs, ask someone with the official word of what is cheating. You ask the player, then you're just gonna get a player's answer. So when you get banned, when you get pretty much screwed, well, you can blame the player, but it's typically your fault. So what is cheating in this game? Well, simple. You can go to the Pokemon Trainers Guideline, you can scroll down to the no cheating, and then you can read. Don't do it. Play fair. Pokemon Go is meant to be played on a mobile device and it gets you outside to explore your world. Methods of cheating, unfortunately, are limited only by the cheater's imagination. But it includes, at a minimum, the following: using modified or unofficial software, playing with multiple accounts, one account per player, please, sharing account, using tools or technique to alter or falsify your location, or selling, trading accounts. One of the problem with cheating is just what they actually said in their wording. Methods of cheating, unfortunately, are limited only by a cheater's imagination. To be honest with you, this has happened a lot in MMORPG. When I used to be a mod, I had to explain to the player that the TOS specifically said there is no dueling. Dueling is pretty much multi-accounting with two accounts at the same time. Usually they will use a software for this, which is also a third-party software, which obviously the TOS would tell you that no use or apply any third-party software to the game that may modify, or obviously any unofficial third-party software. When explaining to them, they will give it an excuse. I put the effort in this account, and thus I paid money, leveled it up, and took time off to pretty much put all the effort into it. Because of these reasons, they thought that for some reason it bypasses the whole written word no dueling, which is other words dual boxing or multi-accounting with two accounts at the same time. However, I also been in other places where dueling is actually allowed. In, for example, Aurora Kingdom, this says that you can duel so long as you don't use a third-party software to actually control both accounts, or PvP to give you an advantage. However, you can train up in certain areas to level up together to get more gold and stuff like that, and that was okay by the devs. So in cheating, in regards to cheating, you will literally ask a dev, and a dev will give you an official answer, and you will follow it. It is that simple. World of Warcraft had a no third-party software rule. However, they made an exceptional rule to Healbot, DPS, and raid boss. So again, who has the power to change and to or allowed a certain feature in the game? The devs or the manager, obviously. So you ask them, is this cheating? In a letter, or you can go to Niantic support and ask them, is this cheating? Is this considered cheating? Can I do this? or I can't do this. But if you ask another player, obviously a player could be cheating and will give you the okay pat in the back. It's all right. You know, you didn't do anything wrong. You put in the work to get up there, or you put the work to do this. Everything is fine, man. I don't consider that cheating. Well, guess what? Happy for you, because you're not the official word. You're not the owner of the game. So your word and your comprehension or your understanding of it is not valid to them, to Niantic. Niantic says completely, do not use modified or unofficial software. What is unofficial software? Duh, anything that's not made by Niantic. Yeah, that means IV checkers, sadly, even though it doesn't do anything bad. It's like a calculator. Non-unofficial software, no matter how harmless it is. No playing with multiple accounts. That means you can have two phones, pay for money, and then put all the hard work, and you're still breaking the rule. One account per player, please. Sharing account. You can give the account to somebody in New York or somebody in Sydney or somebody in Japan to catch you a Pokemon. You're breaking the rule. It's right there in the trainer's guideline. Come on. It's like reading the manual of what not to do in the world. You know, don't steal, don't, you know, pretty much don't kill. You know, you learn this pretty obviously. So, you know, if when you read the manual right here, no cheating, it just says no sharing. Using tool technique to alter or falsify your location. The GPS spoofing. So what's wrong with GPS spoofing? Well, not just that it says that it's against the rule, but you're also giving yourself an advantage, and usually abusing the game that gives someone else an advantage is usually written in the TOS, term of service. How do you justify GPS spoofing? I'm disabled, I'm in a rural area. That does not even give you the right to break the rules game. Sadly, though I'm being quite, you know, how do I say that? And I apologize for my English. Sometimes I know what to say, but the word won't come out right. If I being, even though I'm being straightforward, and it look like I really don't care, you know, it is in the rule. I am the type of person who has been following rules in many of the MMORPG, and I'm breaking them. So it is in me. When it's in the rule, I try not to break it. Or should I say, I actually don't break it. So why am I actually covering this video? Well, legit players and cheaters are gonna get hit, you know, or should I say legit players on the cross line of fire. The IV affects level 24 or lower. That means anybody who is legit and anybody who is not legit. The cheaters go ahead and bypass it, and now they're putting all their bots to level 30, so that way, you know, they can still use the bot and find other Pokemon. Well, the level 24 might have still a problem, right? Because it's the 24 or lower. And if they find a Charizard level 5, the level 18 should not be able to find that same Charizard because it's different IV, different set moves. So legit players just got hit, but the non-legit players obviously bypassed it. Now we get hit with 500 limiter. So who are affected with this? Who are affected by this? Non-casual hardcore players who live in a like real big city area, which can spawn a lot of Pokemon and have a lot of Pokestop for the lure models and party and all that. And players who have a lot of time to play the game. Who are not affected by this? Well, sometimes drivers. I see some drivers who doesn't play all day, driving all day. You know, I seen some YouTubers who doesn't play all game, so they're not going to be affected too much by it. Rural area players who says they can't catch as much, even though they increased or improved the area, they still can't catch much. So you know, they only could catch maybe 200, 300. Even some people think it's impossible to catch that much, 500. You know. So legit players are gonna get hit, and the casual players and other players, you know, who doesn't pass it are not gonna get hit, obviously. And the non-legit players are gonna get hit, but however, they're gonna bypass that and do something else. to break, to bypass that kind of patch. So what is the point? The point is Niantic did something and hit both players on legit and legit. They go ahead bypass it, and then Niantic does it again. Now, the thing is, how far is Niantic willing to go, and how far the cheaters are willing to go? Are Niantic willing to go to the point that breaks the game and destroys it? I doubt it. I mean, they want that money. Are the cheater willing to go to the point to break it? Usually, yes. I remember when I played Dirty Bomb, cheaters will go to the far point because they didn't care about anybody. They just care about themselves. So they will go as far as destroy the game. You either follow my rules or your game is done. That they're willing, but hopefully it doesn't get to that point. What is the next thing after they bypass it? What is the next thing that they're going to do? Here is the part where you're going to put your thinking hat. What is Niantic capable of? Can they increase the time from 5 minutes to 10 minutes on the Pokestop? Can they increase the time on spinning the Pokestop? So every 1 minute can you spin the Pokestop, or every 3 minutes can you spin the Pokestop? So 1, and then you have to wait 1 to 3 minutes, and then you can spin another one, and then wait 1 to 3 minutes. Can they limit the amount of Pokestop can you do per day? 100 Pokestops? Spin 100 Pokestops and you're done, and then you can't catch much. I mean, obviously this will these Pokestops things I've just mentioned, it will correspond a little bit with the limiter. It means that less Pokemon you're catching, or maybe you have to pay more for the Pokeballs in the $8 in the shop to get more items. Who knows? But the point is, how far are they willing to go, and how far are the cheater willing to go? Well, we will never know until the next update in the next one. So I'm going to wait to 3 updates to see how far both of these guys, Niantic versus cheating, goes in this little world of theirs. For me, I am going to stop at 498, I think, and then I'll wait for the next day. On my last video that I did 24 miles, if I didn't stop for the gym and didn't get pissed because of the corrupted data the AC screen did for me, I would have had more than 400, more than 500 actually, because I caught like 450, I think. And at the same time, if I would have stayed all day in West Haven, I caught like 300, no problem, with all those lure model, and I had enough to come back home with full 1,000 bag. But if I would have stayed all day, I know I would have caught like 600 or 700. So I know there are cities who have like a bunch of Pokestops with lure models on certain days or every day, and they're going to be affected by this. So let's see what happens with this little battle between Niantic and cheating and the cheaters, and see how far they're willing to go, and see how far Niantic is willing to implement new rules that will hit both legit and non-legit. If cheating wasn't done in the first place, I think the game would have been much better. But obviously, in this perfect world, that's not possible.